What is the ego? The ego is idolatry, the sign of limited and separated self, born in a body, doomed to suffer and to end its life in death. It is the will that sees the will of God as enemy, and takes a form in which it is denied. The ego is the proof that strength is weak and love is fearful. Life is really death, and what opposes God alone is true. The ego is insane. In fear it stands beyond the everywhere, apart from all, in separation from the infinite. In its insanity it thinks it has become a victor over God himself. And in its terrible autonomy it sees the will of God has been destroyed. It dreams of punishment, and trembles at the figures in its dreams, its enemies who seek to murder it before it can ensure its safety by attacking them. The Son of God is egoless. What can he know of madness and the death of God when he abides in him? What can he know of sorrow and of suffering when he lives in eternal joy? What can he know of fear and punishment, of sin and guilt, of hatred and attack, when all there is surrounding him is everlasting peace, forever conflict-free and undisturbed, in deepest silence and tranquility? To know reality is not to see the ego and its thoughts, its works, its acts, its laws and its beliefs, its dreams, its hopes, its plans for its salvation, and the cost belief in it entails. In suffering, the price for faith in it is so immense that crucifixion of the Son of God is offered daily at its darkened shrine, and blood must flow before the altar where its sickly followers prepare to die. Yet will one lily of forgiveness change the darkness into light, the altar to illusions to the shrine of life itself. And peace will be restored forever to the holy minds which God created as his Son, his dwelling place, his joy, his love, completely his, completely one with him. The ego is the moment a shadow mistakes itself for the sun. It is the tiny ripple forgetting the ocean and then trembling because it thinks the wind is out to get it. It is the idol built from nothing, worshipped as everything, defended as life itself, and yet it was never alive. The ego is idolatry because it asks for devotion to what does not exist. A 10th grade way of saying it: imagine carving a statue out of smoke and then spending the rest of the day protecting it from the rain. That's the ego, a puff of vapor pretending to be a kingdom. A mask terrified someone might touch it and expose the empty space behind it. And because it's empty, it must constantly perform fullness. It must rehearse identity like an actor with a script he never wrote. It must defend the costume as if it were the self. The ego is insane because it builds a world upside down and then cries when gravity works. It says strength is weakness, and weakness is strength. It says love is dangerous and fear keeps you safe. It says life is death and death is life. It even believes it has defeated God, the way a dream character believes it outran the dreamer. It is the cuckoo bird tossing the real egg from the nest, convinced the mother won't notice the difference. It believes it has a will separate from God's, even though a separate will is impossible. The ego dreams of punishment because it believes it committed a crime. It thinks it broke creation, stole something holy, and now lives on borrowed time. So the dream becomes a courtroom. Bodies become witnesses. Relationships become trials. Memory becomes evidence. And every upset is the echo of a verdict the mind never actually received. If I don't attack first, something will attack me. That is the ego's national anthem. So it jabs, defends, freezes, hides, postures, competes and compares, and brags, all to protect a self that isn't there. The ego trembles at the figures in its dreams because it put them there. It fears being murdered because it believes it murdered God. It believes survival depends on constant vigilance. It calls this life, even though it's a form of hiding. It lives like someone barricaded in a house where no one is actually knocking. But the Son of God is egoless. Not humble as in small, humble as in whole, humble as in not needing to pretend. Imagine a lamp arguing with a shadow about which one is real. The lamp doesn't argue. It shines. That is egolessness. It doesn't feel loss because what it is cannot be lost. It doesn't fear punishment because nothing has been done to deserve it. It doesn't know hatred because it lives in a climate where attack cannot breathe. The Son of God abides in silence, not the silence of suppression, but the silence of truth. The silence that needs no defense. The silence where nothing has to be proven. To know reality is to stop looking for the ego's footprints in the sand. To stop tracking the movements of something that never existed. To stop interpreting fear as guidance, guilt as honesty, or pain as truth. The ego builds shrines, but they are dark. On those altars, the mind sacrifices peace daily, convinced that suffering buys safety. Like a village tossing grain into a volcano, hoping it will be spared. Every grievance becomes another offering. Every judgment becomes another ritual. Every fear becomes another prayer to the idol of separation. The world becomes a temple to a God that demands exhaustion. But one lily of forgiveness ends the ritual. One moment of clarity flips the entire world right side up. One breath of remembrance dissolves the altar completely. Because forgiveness is not, I excuse what happened. Forgiveness is, nothing real was touched. Think of it like waking from a nightmare. You don't negotiate with the monsters. You don't try to fix the burning buildings. You don't try to make the dream safer. You simply open your eyes, and the entire landscape disappears without needing closure. The ego never survives that. It can shout, posture, argue, seduce, threaten, and distract, but it cannot stand in the light. Because the light reveals there was never a statue, never a shadow kingdom, never a courtroom, never a crime, never a separate self at all. Only the dream of one. And the dream ends the moment the dreamer remembers, I am still as God created me. Not broken, not guilty, not hunted, not lost. Just waking up. The ego dissolves not through effort but through recognition. Not by fighting the darkness but by realizing it was only the absence of seeing. Not by perfecting the mask but by realizing the face beneath it was never harmed. The ego is nothing more than the habit of forgetting. And forgiveness is the moment the remembering begins.